All right, time for another draftphysics.com, debatephysics.com also, but people just don't do it very well. Debating, arguing, staying on the subject, all of that. I don't, you know, it's like, well, I'm trying my best to say things in, reasonable sentences, describe something, and they so pervert what I say and so twisted. And you're saying, how could you not understand it? It's a simple enough argument. How could you keep fucking it up? Anyway, so this science deb guy, debate science, whatever his name used to be, has left a big long comment, and 3 times now he's sort of commented. He always comments in some way that I find kind of trollish. I'm supposed to believe he's sincere, but I just don't. I can't. It's like it's so disconnected from what I'm overtly stating in the video he's commenting on that I can't see this as genuine in any way. So it starts off with this fine enough paragraph. Oh yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And then it just turns into he's just going to argue for Mohammed. He's going to just talk gibberish. And I don't get it. So anyway, I'm just going to read through all this crap and marvel at how there's this failure to communicate. I guess I ought to get the line from that movie. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Yeah, we're just not doing it somehow. Somehow there's English just doesn't work. Okay, anyway. Hi, thank you for this video. Well, I sort of just say fuck you because you apparently didn't pay any attention to it whatsoever. Seems we think alike in many respects. I can't see any respects where we think alike. I'm every time I point out something, you completely ignore the point and just go on babbling away. You're basically asking yourself the same questions I have been asking myself all my life. Yeah, I'm done asking. I'm answering now. That's sort of one of the points, right? Is I'm pointing out that, when I was 10 years old, I didn't have the counter argument. I have it now, okay? It's nice to see I'm not alone. Well, whatever. Like I told you before for light, yes, you told me stuff, and I told you that your arguments, frankly, are bad arguments. So, right, you're arguing against this wave interference thing with an argument that really doesn't argue against wave interference. It doesn't disprove it. So that doesn't really work. And you can't say something like reflection. It's just a reflection. Well, that doesn't explain why changing how close the two surfaces are to each other changes the reflection. You're not explaining how the pattern dramatically changes based on having the surfaces close to each other and far away. Reflection, saying the word reflection doesn't answer that. So you're not making very good arguments. And how you won't find a single soul who will question the wave nature of light. And you don't seem to be questioning it either. You're for an ether, for fuck's sake. An ether is a wave mechanism. It's not, you can't make a straight line in an ether theory, okay? So let's just understand something, okay? There's, yeah, okay, so I have to get rid of this. The easiest way to understand that ether doesn't work, okay? Ether has to be made out of something. So whatever the ether is, it can't just be a consistent blob of something. So you're basically saying an ether is a checkerboard, okay? Like there's some sort of square geometry that the whole universe is made out of. And obviously the checkerboard creates all problems where diagonals are longer than this way and, all kinds of crap. And there's no straight line, frankly, okay? I can't make a straight line from any location and go because I'll be halfway between squares and it'll screw up any kind of idea of a consistent speed of light or any of that crap because I'm not going to have perfect circles, whatever I use, whatever geometry I use for the ether, I can't make a straight line. It ends up having to do this to get anywhere. Somehow it has to know it went too far this way and then it has to compensate, go back this way. There's no straight lines. There's all kinds of ways to go crooked. So it just doesn't work. It doesn't create a mechanism that is all like the light traveling billions of light years in a dead straight line to get to us. It doesn't duplicate the reality that we exist in. So I'm going to argue it's so much easier. Again, you don't need dominoes. You don't need a whole bunch of dominoes and then you flip a domino and the energy moves through the dominoes. You can just throw the fucking domino. Shit. But I mean, I'm the last person in the world to be talking ether theories to. I find that whole concept obnoxious. Shit. Anyway. I think I noticed the same thing for most theories in physics. They have all this stuff moving around. Well, there is stuff moving around, for fuck's sake. There's nothing wrong with the stuff moving around theory. That seems like what the universe is doing, is there's a lot of stuff moving around. That's what energy is. The whole, this is, look. And there's a whole bunch of stuff moving around inside of me. Fuckhead. All right. That somehow knows exactly where to go. Yeah, well, you know... Straight lines just fix it, okay? You either understand that the straight line is the simplest idea. Something just goes, it goes in a straight line. That's not an ether theory. Ethers don't do straight lines. Damn it. Okay, anyway. All by itself, like somehow intelligent. I have a background in chemistry, but like everything related to atomic theory, it's nothing but math. But like everything related to atomic theory, it's nothing but math. Again, I think it's conceptually, chemistry is machines. It's not just math. It's conceptually understanding that different shaped molecules bang into other shaped molecules and they can break pieces off, or they can create new forms, and, it's the whole DNA thing. It's very elaborate. It's not just math. I have okay, anyway. You got a bunch of bumping beads. It has to be one of these things, fucker. There's bumping or there's not bumping, but you don't believe in bumping. So again, you're making fun of bumping particles. You know what this is? This is, again, I smelled it before, and I said this is a Wheelerite. This is some asshole who's been listening to Ken Wheeler, okay? So he has no clue about reality. All right. Forces, energies, laws, principles, and whatnot. Yeah, well, frankly, I don't know how that useless statement, well, this is just a bunch of talk about talking about talking about talking. It's all we've got, jackass. Well, anyway, but in the end, it still have no idea what an atom looks like. Well, obviously, the whole point of my video was to point out how, yeah, we do sort of understand it. And the difference between their understanding and my understanding isn't that great, in the sense that I'm acknowledging electrons, protons, and neutrons, and we know there's a nucleus, and then there's the that's net positive, and there's the rest of the negative is floating around that core, and all of that makes sense. Now the difference is they think it's not floating around, that it's spinning around at silly speeds. And I made that distinction. I said, well, yeah, it's much simpler if you just say the atoms aren't doing all that spinning crap. Just get rid of the spin shit and everything makes perfectly good sense. All right, anyway. They have all this stuff moving around, somehow knows exactly where to go all by itself. Okay, we did that part. Whatnot, how it acquires its many properties and its momentum. So again, the momentum, the whole argument I'm making is that the momentum is in the field already. So we already know how it acquires it. The force is constantly converting. There's force bits that are free right now, and they're going to crash into me, and then they're going to stop being free, and now they're going to be pushing electrons for a while, or pushing a proton for a while, and then something will happen, and they'll be released, and they'll be freely flying through the universe again. So there's force bits, as I pointed out in the video, that are either in two states. They're either pushing a piece of matter or not pushing a piece of matter. And those are two states that can exist in. And a piece of matter can either have a bunch of force pushing it, or it can have no force pushing it. So it's not that complicated, frankly. All right. So I have an idea. So you keep saying we still have, we don't do, we did it. Now, I don't agree with you. Anyway, Science has abandoned physical mechanisms a long time ago. Well, I think you have too. And now only cares about potential applications, technology, and making money. Well, that's not even the story. The story is that the elemental stuff they decided on hundreds of years ago is demonstrating itself not to be true, and they're stuck because frankly they've incorporated into all of their science and they really can't go back and fix it. I mean, they got something just critically wrong, like the plus and minus, and they don't fix it because it's too difficult to fix. They have to break too many of their fake premises and their axioms to fix it. All right, who cares how it works as long as we can use it to build stuff and make a lot of money? Well, I do. So, yeah, it's more complicated than that, frankly, because yeah, obviously they get trained in bullshit and they really don't know the history. They really don't know the facts. They really don't know that, oh yeah, their physics says it takes 25 times the fuel to spin a motor 5 times as fast, and that's just ludicrous nonsense. They don't have to respond to that point, okay? It doesn't even occur to them to respond to it because they don't even hear it. All right, so anyway, this is where he goes all kinds of sideways. What has bothered me for so many years is the lack of physical mechanism for light. Well, obviously I just described a physical mechanism. Gravity, electromagnetism, and matter. That's what the video had in it, was a description of those very things. I got my first aha moment after seeing a 3D structure of a magnetic field in a ferrocell. So again, we're back to Ken Wheeler. So yes, ferrocells were all the rage 3 years ago. And I debunked them entirely, okay? And then other scientists showed up, like AB Science and other people, to point out exactly what I was saying, which was the magnet is doing exactly to the ferro. So you look, I took a microscope and I investigated myself. I saw somebody else had done it. I didn't see, it wasn't great images, so I did it myself. Took a microscope, put the ferrofluid under a slide, put a magnet under it, did the whole thing. And you see that it's doing exactly what iron filings do on a piece of paper. It's no surprise at all. And all this is about is you're having 25 LEDs pointing in all kinds of different directions, and you're just creating a bunch of little lines with the LED light. And so the pattern is completely understandable as basically having nothing to do with revealing any forces or any structure. It's just the nuance of reflection. You're taking little mirrors and putting them at certain angles, and they're reflecting light at certain angles, and that's what you're seeing. And it's absolutely isn't revealing the truth. It's just deceiving. It's just presenting you with something that is much more complicated than the simplicity of the creation. So it's a torus. So he's even saying the word torus. So you just complain that they have all these properties, all this stuff is doing all this weird. How does something do a torus, fucker? Why don't you explain how you make a torus? Okay, explain it to me. How you make one out of anything simple. Just too ridiculous. With a hyperboreloid in the center. So it's a torus with a hyperboreloid. So he's complaining that they have stuff doing all this bumping around, and it's doing stuff, and there's no how does it do that? And then he talks about it doing brain surgery. I mean, it's creating a hyperboreloid inside of a torus. How the fuck is a magnet doing that? You're just too ridiculous. I finally understood the mechanism. So you understood something. So we don't understand, but you understand. See, I'm making exactly the opposite argument. I'm saying I understand and you don't understand. Fuck. God damn it. Anyway. I finally understood the mechanism for what we call positive south, negative north, and what causes apparent attraction and repulsion. Bullshit. So make your fucking video explaining how your torus creates attraction and repulsion. Because it doesn't. Ken Wheeler makes absolutely no fucking sense. He doesn't explain how it means a damn thing except magic. There's no explanation. You don't have an explanation how something going this way does this thing. No, it doesn't. It doesn't do it nearly strong enough to create anything called the phenomenon of a magnet. It isn't being created by currents in an ether. You fucking idiot. Anyway, so everything becomes surprisingly simple. I mean, what? God damn it. So just put that video up, okay? Find your favorite Ken Wheeler video and put that on your fucking channel with him doing his little nonsense about how it magically explains anything, because it doesn't explain a goddamn thing. Like nature should be. So amazing that he says this shit. Nature never does things the hard way. Torus and hyperboloid. That's the simple way. Oh, fuck. So it's like I said, my whole video was a repudiation of any kind of torus hyperboloid conversation. So this is all just trolling, frankly. He's just, I'm pointing out how Catholics and Muslims are lunatics, and he's telling me how, well, Muslims are, but us Catholics, we know what we're talking about. This is going to be a lot to process, but bear with me. Why should I? I mean, actually, you produce no content. You have a video up that's a piece of franking garbage in terms of the logic being applied to it. And so why really? Why should I bear with you while you tell me about how I can pass my catechism? In order to make sense of any physical mechanism or electromagnetism, gravity, light, we have no choice. I mean, no choice, but to admit to an all-pervasive medium. So again, it's been clear in the time that this asshole's been watching my videos that I have no use for any ethers or mediums or any of that crap. So, fuck, he's just trolling, right? Yes. Otherwise, nothing makes any sense. Fuck you. We have to have domino theory. Without the domino theory, there's no way to just flip a domino and have it move across the field and land somewhere. Can't happen that way. It must bang into another domino because you say so. There's no logic here. Otherwise, well, anyway, nothing makes sense. Fuck you. I don't care what you want to call it. Well, I don't know what you're fucking gonna call it. I don't call it any of this shit. Vacuum energy, ether, space-time, or DraftScience. What the fuck are you... The title of my channel is not space-time or ether or energy or... It's not... It's a whole different kind of concept. It's just talking about here's a... let's start over. Let's pull out the paper and try to figure out how it works. I don't even understand that reference. There is no way around it. You must be a Catholic. No, I really mustn't. Electromagnetic theory was founded with an ether. So again, and the whole point of my argument is the theory is wrong. Amperage doesn't go this way and voltage go that way. A lot of their theory is absolute horseshit. A fucking photon is not electrical and magnetical. It doesn't, it's not bent by a magnetism. It's not bent by an electric field. So fuck you. Again, this is just trolling and absolutely required it. So that's just a preposterously silly lie. There's absolutely nothing in electromagnetic theory. It's straight line vectors, you fuck brain. Everything lands at a point, okay? They make up some silly story about how it gets to the point, but it actually goes from point A to point B. That's how it actually works, fuck brain. So there's absolutely no reason for me to sit there and insist upon the existence of any of this other horse shit. No proof of it, no evidence of it. Fuck you. Talk this fucking shit on my video. Like I said, I don't care for the name. Fuck you. But for my explanation, I will use the term medium as the fluid, the field. Yeah, and fuck you. There's no fluid in the sense of any fluid we know of. All the fluids we know of are the ones that we don't contrive out of sand or something. You can make sand behave as a fluid, and the sand elements don't stick to each other. But you won't be able to maintain that fluid. You won't be able to create the same waves in that fluid. You won't be able to do a lot of the things in that fluid that you can do in water or some other fluid. All right. The magnet has a toroidal field. I mean, fuck you. And also a hyperboloid. Does it again. So, yeah, hourglass. This is all just Ken Wheeler. The cult of Ken Wheeler. Why don't you talk about the seven seals, and fuck your own kids? One end pole being south, the other being north. The medium goes in south charge and exits north. Why don't you write this on your own fucking channel, you fucking loop-de-doo? Ugh, God. Upon exiting. I haven't read any of this shit. I stopped reading once he did this shit. It's immediately met by the surrounding medium and bends back, and the field returns to the south pole, hence the donut shape. Unless other magnets or ferromagnetic materials are present to link the chain. When you hear the terms positive and negative, what do you mean? I mean pressure. That's what I mean. And clearly, it's the nature of the object. It's black, white. It's on, off. It's, they're two. They behave exactly inversely to the same circumstance. That would be a way of describing it. What do you mean? Nobody ever says. Well, I said right in the video, I drew you a diagram of it, for fuck's sake, and the diagram ends up looking exactly like Maxwell's drawings of electromagnetism, fuckhead. That's what I did in the fucking video you're commenting on, you fucking hunk of shit. There are no such thing as positive and negative charges, says you, moron. What we actually have are opposite conditions. And how exactly can you have opposite conditions and not call those positive and negative or up, down, or something? Inverse, reverse, something. The medium goes in. Oh, this is more, you can't draw any of this shit, I'm sure. The medium goes in, charge positive, and goes out, discharge negative, whatever the fuck that means. All atoms are like tiny electrostatic dynamos with mini magnets. And how do the magnets do any of this stuff? How do they radiate, whatever this radiation is? All right. They all have the same basic structure, acting in a venturi for the medium. What? Fuck. What? Fuck this shit. The Earth contains gazillions of atoms. The Earth contains gazillions of jackasses with dipoles, hourglass shapes pointing in all imaginable directions, hence weak pull. So a pointing hourglass means something's getting pulled by some sort of mechanism built out of a bunch of curved and bent crooked lines. Okay, sure. Bullshit. As opposed to powerful pull of magnet point source, whatever the fuck that even means. The difference is coherency. Oh, so it's fractal woman stuff. She's big on that coherency. The special power of the coherency. Try this very simple. Try fucking yourself, you piece of shit. Take a bunch of 5 millimeter spherical magnets from and form a sphere, incoherent magnetic field. Stick a single free bar magnet in. Why don't you do this experiment? Why don't you show it in a video, you fucking piece of hunk of goddamn shit? Obviously it sticks. Now turn the bar magnet around and reverse poles again, being a bar magnet close to. I mean, we all know how magnets work, fuckhead. Alright, never repel. Incoherent magnetic field is gravity. Oh, fuck you. Gravity. Alright, so I explained gravity in previous videos again. So he's just talking absolute shit. He's just talking over me on my own video. This obnoxious wad of shit is, I'm doing an evolution video, and here he is showing up to do this babble about how Mohammed is God. Fuck you. The closer you're getting to the ground, the denser the matter is. The more atoms the medium goes through, the more falling objects accelerating, whatever all this bullshit is. Draw a picture, you fucker. The acceleration of the medium into density of matter is also consistent with the acceleration of gravity. I mean, there's just zero explanation of any of this. This is just all made up baby talk. Simple fluid dynamics. Why don't you show us? All atoms, like tiny magnets, have this hourglass shape, accelerating the medium, cutting the magnet into hundreds of pieces, and each piece will retain the same dipole structure. What the hell? How do you cut fucking goddamn atoms, you jackass? You can't do that. So all that fractal crap falls apart. All right. Cut the magnet into billions of pieces, right down to the size of an atom. Yeah, exactly. It's just made out of atoms that have more electrons on one side than the other side. And you point all of those in the same direction, and you change how they reflect the field. And it's about how they reflect the field, as I pointed out in the video, you fucking dumb cunt. What does that tell you? Fuck you. Since there is no such thing as attraction, yeah, that's true. So that's the only thing you got right. This fluid dynamical mechanism explains the apparent attraction. So it really doesn't. So it's just a lie to say it does, that there's any evidence whatsoever indicating you can create anything like the power of a magnetic field with any of this nonsense fucking bullshit medium current crap. It's like poking a hole in an empty container with a negative pressure inside. La 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 la. The outside air will rush into the container. Yes, the pressure from the outside goes to the low pressure on the inside. No magical pulling involved, and there's absolutely no evidence that there's any air pressure in atoms. So all of this is just horse shit. And the air rushes in. When breathing air into your lungs, it's the same mechanism. Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Okay. That is the pulling mechanism for magnetism and gravity. It's really not. Fuck you, you're an idiot. All right, so he goes on and on and on and on. Oh, I don't know. It's really worth wasting your time reading anymore. No, they really. Look at this. What is this shit? All right, so this is the ether denier should watch. Let's go see this horse shit. But oh, see, here it is. You know, I've debunked this so many times. This tiny, tiny, tiny. I mean, it's such a subtle effect. They can barely get these things to move at all. So this has so little in common with magnets. The movement is so dull and weak. And so it doesn't have anything to do with describing any kind of reality. This is just about the fact that you're creating turbulence in the water, and the objects will tend to do this because they put this power, and he's got a powerful fans going on in these things. So he's doing all this energy, and he's getting a tiny amount of action out of a ton of energy. So he puts a ton of energy in, megawatts of energy in, and gets a tiny bit of movement. It's just a ludicrous pile of shit. Oh, the people just suck. How could you how dare you put this shit on my video? All right, let's see what kind of stupid it's just so bad. This is such Ken Wheeler crap. All right, commercial and fractal. We might not oh, exactly. So I predicted it, right? Okay. So, yeah, fuck you. You're done here. Oh, crap. Well, I'll try. He typed all this shit. I'll read it maybe. But, he doesn't understand any of this shit. So he's just going to keep talking shit without drawing any shit. Why don't you prove something you're saying by actually being able to draw a coherent diagram of how the fuck it actually works, you piece of shit. Instead of typing all this crap on somebody else's video, you obnoxious hunk of fucking deceptive, lying, super shit. Ugh. God damn it. These people are worse than the thing they're trying to correct, right? The Muslims are immoral. Us Catholics, we just molest children. So, we're really cool. I mean, this cult is worse than the religion he's fighting. He's fighting the traditional religion from his Scientology headquarters. You're not fixing the problem, fuckhead. You are why the real physics sucks. You're just an example of how it ends up sucking. It's because you're a fucking face-palmable idiot. And you're belligerently stupid, as I've pointed out to you the flaws in your reasoning, and you couldn't give a shit. You just ignore the fucking arguments, ignore everything I said in the fucking video, and type this swill. God fuck you. Okay, yeah, that's all I can say. Fuck you. All right, so that was really disappointing. But yes, I smelled it early on that he was just a Wheelerite. Okay, a little disciple of the Church of Ken Wheeler. Fooled by Pharaoh cells. And Ken Wheeler isn't fooled. Let me just tell you, your minister of bullshit, he knows the truth. Okay, he has seen what the little Pharaoh pieces are doing in a microscope. He's seen all those videos. He knows the truth. He knows it's all just being created by the LED lights. And you're just such a goddamn dupe that you'd sit there and trust that fat funka hunk of shit. Like he's going to teach you something, you stupid idiot. And the fucking fractal woman is just a wooeyist. She's frankly just a silly fucking woman. She's just doing girl physics. She wants to turn it all into some pretty flower. Ugh, ridiculous. God damn it. You're just such a dupe. Oh, I hate this planet. They're all dupes or assholes. I mean, there's just nothing else but dupes or assholes on this planet. Fuck.